viewers, welcome to this English News Edition. Here are the headlines. Arrival of the head of state in Doha. The central bank organized the information system conference. And on the regional scenes in Egypt, a huge fire destroys police headquarters in Egypt. Those were the major stories. Thanks for joining us in our newsroom. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Margili, arrived this evening, early in the afternoon, in Doha, capital of Qatar, where he will take part in the 2023 International exhibitions, which open its door today in Doha. Upon his arrival at the Qatar International Airport, the President of the Republic was warmly welcomed by senior officials of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Qatar, the first of its kind, the exposition Doha 2023, which is a long-awaited event, has the theme A Green Desert, a Better Environment. Located in a unique setting, this year exposition is being held in the heart of the capital in such a potential venues designed for the occasion, which will be held for the 6th an international meeting place to discuss technique and prosper for product growth taken from the crop of earth. The aim of this international the horticulture exposition is to celebrate the beauty of nature while highlighting crucial issues such as the biodiversity, conversion, and sustainable agriculture, but also the importance of preserving fragile ecosystem. The horticultural experts researchers and environmental for around the world came together to share their knowledge and passion with the visitors. The Republic of Djibouti, under the leadership of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Margili, has long put forward policies focused on the conversations, biodiversity, the preservation of the ecosystem, and the fight against food insecurity. Now, the seismic crisis, which began on September 28, 2023 at 4 p.m. In the local time in the Gulf of Tajura near the Musha Island is still ongoing. The number of recorded tremors have decreased significantly since yesterday. The ARTA Observatory recorded 148 events in the last 24 hours. No no earthquakes are felt during the last 24 hours since the start of this seismic crisis. The ARTA Geophysical Observatory has recorded 1,429 earthquakes. The epicenter are always located at the southwest of the Obob, and also depth of localities vary between 5 to 11 kilometers. This seismic crisis has also a characteristic for the crisis of the technique of this event. In order to strengthen the preparation and management of risk in the school, MENFOP organized this Sunday on October 1, 2023, a training workshop on risk and disaster management at the Training Center for Fundamental Education Teachers, and the ceremony of this workshop was shared by Mr. Mohammed Abdullah Mahyoub, Secretary General for the Ministry of Education, in the presence of Mr. Ahmed Mohammed, Executive Secretary of the RRCMP, Abdi Dirir, Director of General of Education, and also the Director General of the CFF, as well as civil protection officials. Mr. Mohammed Abdallah Mahyoub underlined the importance of this training, highlighting the crucial roles of schools' principals in the safety of students and teachers in in the event of an emergency. He called on schools leaders to develop education plans today, including emergency routes and regrouping site to deal with the earthquake. Subsequently, the members of the technical committee present to the participant the educational plan to develop in 2023 and to respond. This plan identify the main risk in Djibouti City, including the flood, earthquake, epidemic, and drought, as well as climate change. At the conclusion of the workshop, the Secretary General expressed his thanks on behalf of Minister of National Education and Vocational Training for the support of the Minister of Interior in the approach aimed at preparing teachers and students to face all type of risk. In particular, earthquake whose consequence can be dramatic. Ahead of the established have also been called upon to bring together teachers from Monday, October 2, 2023. In a speech, the executive secretary said of the risk and disaster management, said in his speech on behalf of the Ministry of Interior, also urged the head of establishment to put this plan in place and announce that the commander of civil protection and team will visit the establishment and to help prepare them. All the stakeholders are communicated with the common goals of making schools, college, and high school and training center more resilient about the disaster. At the same time, the MENFOP civil engineer technical team are undertaking a post-earthquake assignment of all educational establishments, the Secretary General said for his part. The region from the Somali coast of Gulf of Aden and Gulf of Tajura is currently the scene of a fascinating vital phenomenon for the marine ecosystem. The concentrations of the due to this water, this annual phenomenon has attacked and attracted the attention of researchers and environmentalists around the world, and it is responsible for the red brown color of the region is water composed of microlate suspended in seawater is essential to the marine food chain and plays crucial roles in regarding the chemical composition of the ocean or when these microlage multiplied in number, they can give a brown tint to the seawater phenomenon known as the bloom phenomenon, said CRDR scientific explained that the red-brown color of water is directly linked to this phenomenon where when the grown of seawater is large of a number, they are absorbed and reflect a different wavelength, giving the water in this kind of wave. In his speech, the expert of a Center of Researches, Dr. Musa Umar, said that this coloring phenomenon can be impressive to observe, but it also has an important ecological implication. This blue seawater create an upgrade in the marine ecosystem as it is increased availability of the food for many marine species. A strong delegation made up of members of the government headed by the Minister of Energy and Fisheries Resources, Mr. Yunis Ali Gedi, went this morning to PK13 to visit the new and brilliant Djiboutian company of Proxygas Group, which organized an exhibition ceremony for its innovation product. Upon its arrival, the delegation was welcomed by the dynamic director of this proxy gas company and its employees. A warm welcome, which was just followed by a detailed presentation, which was made by the director of proxy gas group on different offers and innovative product of the company, namely LPG, which is a reliable supplier of high quality of this group for residentials and commercial use, high quality, reliable for machines and also the technical and industrial platform. This ministerial delegation took the opportunity to discuss with the director of the Proxygas Group company staff and representative, but also the company manager on the promotion and strengthening of a different service and offer which play a leading roles in the creation of the healthy and clean environment. On this day exhibitions of its product, the Proxygas Group had the honors and pleasure to presenting the delegation a new innovative gas product, the composite of gas cylinders, first of its kind in Djibouti. Remember that these composite bottles do not explode, and even when exposed to fire, this is due to the glass and fiber compound having a greater resistance than these. The Minister of Environment, Mr. Mohammed Abdul Qadir Musa Halam, in his speech, congratulated the Proxygas Group for its innovative work and tireless effort deployed to achieve in its objective for more promising environmental and he said Proxygas is the true definition of success of an innovative method of new materials capable of changing the daily lives of Djiboutian population. He added also that it must recognize that the Proxygas groups, through its various offers such as the lubricating oil and the various other innovative product has demonstrated constant determination to meet expectation and aspiration of its customers, and doing so joining the effort of government in its fight against climate change through strategies and national policy capable of measuring and reducing the greenhouse gas emissions. He also said he ultimately encouraged the group to move forward in his conclusion. For his part, the Minister of Energy, Mr. Yunis Ali Gedi, delivered a speech in which he said, despite the strength of the composite proxy gas battles is twice lighter than this advantage of the battle, and so that it preserve the environment and the health of user. It is clear that the proxy gas group markets gave with the superior of quality and metal support. The proxy gas is the true definition, he said, of success and innovative method of a new materials capable of changing the daily life of Djiboutian population, said the minister. The government of the Central Bank of Djibouti, Mr. Ahmed Usman, preside today at the Sheraton Hotel in Djibouti the annual conference of countries using the Banking Supervision Application Information System, and also commonly known as BSA. Experts from different central banks of 20 countries using the BSA system, as well as a senior executive from Central Bank of Djibouti and various commercial bank of Djibouti took part in this annual conference, which is organized by the Bank of Djibouti. The BSA is part of strengthening the supervision of financial institution and providing the supervision service, which with the technical means to carry out effective supervision commensurate with the expansion of banking sector. The expansion of BSA that are witnessing today is recognized of Dream of Africa collaborative effort, which result in the establishment of a common banking supervision solution for use by central banks. This work, which will take place over 5 days, will allow the different countries to exchange, share essential information, and explore new perspectives strengthened by the collaboration between the stakeholders in the banking sector before closing on evolution, but also the improvement to the BSA system toward version. In his opening speech, the governor of the Central Bank of Djibouti, Mr. Ahmed Usman, recalled the characteristic and advantage of this system, which is developed by African experts, and underlined the pride for the Central Bank of Djibouti to be part of members countries which have decided to pool their knowledge in terms of banking supervision. He recalled that with the reforms, for the initiative by the Central Bank of Djibouti, the Djibouti financial sector has undergone profound change over the last decade. We are delighted to welcome the different delegations coming to our country from across the continent to share their experts and vision for the future of a BSA system, he said before closing his remarks. The Minister of Environment and Sustainable Development, in collaboration with the United Nations Development Programme, organized yesterday at the end of the morning on Sunday a training workshop for national experts on the inventory of greenhouse gas with the two participants in this workshop include the Secretary General of the Ministry of Environment, Senior Executive of the Ministry of Environment, the UNDP representative, as well as stakeholder leaders. In her speech, the UNDP representative clarified the importance of this workshop, which aims to provide key national stakeholders with the skills and knowledge on greenhouse gas emission inventory and methodologies using the software developed by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. This strengthening of skills is in greenhouse inventory will allow Djibouti to be able to effectively measure and monitor greenhouse gas emission and subsequently designed mitigation strategies adapt to the context. Through this training, it is also a question of fulfilling Djibouti's commitment to the Paris Agreement, in particular through the implementation of reinforced transparency framework through the climate change and promise in this initiative support countries in providing an adequate response to the climate crisis, both to evaluate effort but also to strengthen their ambition and their national commitment to the climate change to be able do as she said. In his speech, the Secretary General thanked all the stakeholders, participants, as well as the UNDP representative, and in this sense, he said, your presence testified to the interests you have in climate change, which is the greatest challenge on the planet. He said, Djibouti, as a nation committed to sustainable development, but also a country very vulnerable to the impact of global warming, has clearly understood the scale of global issues that it is climate change. A mission from the Minister of Labor responsible for formalization and social protection, led by the Executive Secretary responsible for the administrative reform, visit Dakhel region for an awareness workshop on the achievement and prospect of reform. This mission, composed of Secretary General of the delegates, a ministry in charge of decentralization, Mr. Mohammed Daisi, and the Director General of INAP, Chormake Idris, was warmly welcomed by the Prefect of Dakhel region, Mr. Hassan Abdi Roble, at the prefecture. That symbolized the launch of this crucial initiative. During this meeting, the participant had the opportunity for a courtesy of informative exchange that's laying the foundation for a fruitful collaboration to come. Subsequently, the mission headed to a Dakhel Region Council. The workshop began with the intervention from leading officials, the Vice President of the Regional Council and the Secretary General of the MDCD deliver welcome words, followed by the Executive Secretary in charge of administration reform, who outlined the expected objective of this essential event. Finally, the Deputy Prefect, Mr. Yusuf Ali, officially launched the workshop, marking the start of crucial discussion. This workshop brought together key players in the region, including the regional council, the prefecture, and the centralized service, and a civil society. But also, the general objective of this meeting was to engage the region in administrative reform activities. It is a day of discussion and listening aimed at collecting participant grievances, involving them to the reform program, and harmonize it for the reform of regional administration with the public administrations. In his speech, the Executive Secretary in charge of reform, Mr. Mohammed Awal Dirir, highlighted the achievement and perspective of administration reform. The participants actively discussed, share their ideas and experience, he said, and express their grievance. The valuable contribution will be presented during the National Conference on Reform scheduled for November 2023 in Djibouti, and organized by the Minister of Labor under the supervision of Executive Secretary in charge of administration reform in collaboration with the international experts. This step marks the start of a new reform of a strategy that promised to shape the future of a government in our region, he said. In the international scenes in Egypt, a huge fire devastated public police headquarters in Egypt. At least 83 people were injured in a fire that ravaged the police headquarters on Monday, one of the largest buildings in this Egyptian city, located on the western bank of the Suez Canal, according to the Minister of Health. Control in the morning, the fire of origin of which was not immediately known broke out at the headquarters of the security directorate before dawn. Images posted online showed immense flames devoiding the many floors of imposing stones building occupied by the police official. When the first emergency service arrived, the fire had entire security directorate building in this city in the northeastern Egypt. This is it for this edition. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful evening.